What's up, everybody? It's Keisha here from Kenyatta's Roots. Welcome to my channel. And today I am taking my time to go through my roots again and make something beautiful. Not that it's not already beautiful. Let's not get it twisted. But I wanted to try something new. I wanted to try something fresh. And if you cannot tell right now, my hair is actually medium brown. I actually have naturally black hair, but I took the time to lighten it with baking soda and hydrogen peroxide. And if you're interested in that, make sure to check out that video. And now it's been about 4 weeks or so since I've done that. When I was actually relaxed, my hair was this color, and I grew up thinking that that was my natural color because the relaxer, I think I started when I was maybe 5 or so. So as far as I can remember, my hair was like light brown, and so it's been interesting going natural and seeing it in its black beauty. But on today, I am trying to dye it more of a reddish tone. I am still, of course, all about the roots, all about trying to do something natural. And so I wanted to try henna on today. And so I have found this particular henna off of Amazon. It is red and it is pure henna. There are no other additives or anything like that into it, which was really important for me. All right, guys. So we have our henna. Remember, it is Light Mountain Natural Hair Henna, and it is the color red. One thing that I really, really love is that you can see on the back, it shows you the different colors that you should expect to see. And on the side here, it's a QR code for you to actually look at the how-to video. Very important that you use distilled water, because if you use regular water from the sink or anywhere else, that particular water actually has minerals in it and it can actually interact with the henna. And so that's not what you want. It can adjust the color and all of those different things. So very important to use distilled water. Per the instructions, I am not playing around with my hair. And so, do what works best for you. But for me, I needed to use this water to make sure that I had as much control as possible over the henna. It is also supposed to be done with hot water. And so I decided that it would just be easiest for me to put it into a coffee machine. You can also take this water and put it on the stovetop. It really is whatever it is that you'd like to do. I just thought that this would be the easiest way to have everything in one piece for the video. Very important to use a glass bowl as well as a plastic spoon. If you have metal, it actually can interact as well and change the composition of what you're doing. So, no chemical reactions, please and thank you, for my hair color, besides what we're actually going for. All right. So there are no exact measurements for the amount of water. It really is just dependent upon how thick or how thin you would like it to be. I also will point out that it's supposed to thicken over time. So because of that, intentionally made it a little bit thinner so that it would have its chance to thicken as it sits. The longer that you allow it to sit, the more potent it actually becomes. Because my hair is more of that medium brown, light brown, I wanted to make sure that it was as red as possible. So, all right, so I'm finally getting to the consistency that I desire, something that is not super lumpy, but as you can say, you have to put your wrist into it for sure. You don't want to rush in trying to mix this and then you have a bunch of clumps or like dry patches of henna inside, because that is going to be unprocessed henna. Um, and then kind of what would be the point to put it in your hair? This beautiful green brownish color is what I have as my completed pre-product, I should say. All right, guys. So the other thing to note, it is extremely important to cover your henna with plastic wrap. This allows all the moisture to stay inside. You don't want to use something like parchment paper or something like that because it won't hold it in like it needs to. I'm also pressing it down on the top to make sure that there is contact there with the plastic and the henna. That way I can get rid of any air bubbles, or that way the top of the henna won't actually change while it's sitting overnight. So now that I've mixed it, I have also washed my hair, taken the time to detangle my hair, and so it's still quite damp, and that's that. The mixture is here, and I will say that this smells to me kind of sort of like seaweed. That was when I first smelled the powder. The powder is essentially just the henna leaves that were dried, crushed, and ground. I like seaweed, so it doesn't really bother me very much. Also, I eat mainly plant based, so I mean, a lot of things smell different. So I'm kind of used to that. One thing that I will suggest for sure is taking time to place a towel down. One huge beach towel for the top, the countertop, and one for the floor because I don't want to make a mess with a stain that apparently is really hard to get out. And one other thing that I will do is actually take coconut oil, and I just want to kind of protect my ears, protect my neck, and around the sides. I love coconut oil so much. Oh my goodness. I also definitely wanted to do this before I put my gloves on because I don't want all of the stuff to I don't want the coconut oil to be adherent to the gloves, causing issues when I'm trying to apply. So this box actually does come with some gloves. I personally am just not a fan of these particular kind of gloves, um, just because they tend to slide off of my hand. So you'll have the instructions packet, and you'll also have a nice little bag that you're supposed to take and wrap your hair in. I will probably use a shower cap, and I might just put this over the top of it. Then we also have the gloves on here as well. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I have cleaned my hair, I've mixed the henna, and it was not intentional, but the henna has had hours to cure actually. It's had maybe 3 or 4 hours at this point to cure. According to their instructions, it does not need to cure. It's supposed to be able to be used at about 15 to 20, 30 minutes after it cools down because you're supposed to mix it with distilled boiling water. Now, I did not put boiling water in it. I decided to use my coffee maker because it asks you to boil the water in something that's non-metal, because the henna will have a reaction to stuff with metal in it. So I used a glass bowl and I used a plastic spoon and fork to mix it all together. But I don't have anything to boil it in that's not metal. All of my pots and pans are metal. So instead of taking a glass bowl or whatever to put it in the oven and make sure it's boiling, I just decided to use the water instead in a coffee maker, which makes it pretty hot. Um, I know that this is extra, but I really don't want red all on my face. So I'm going to take a little bit of a shea butter to kind of just make sure, we're just making sure. Okay. One other tip that I will also add in, very important, make sure that you have on a dark colored shirt. I actually saw that someone suggested putting on a dark colored shirt and turning it inside out so that afterwards you can wash it and turn it, right side out, and you'll actually not have any issues with the color bleeding or showing up on your shirt. I do have like dark towels and stuff just in case, just because I kind of over prepare. I'd rather be over prepared than under prepared. And you will know that about me. So I feel like I've babbled enough. So here we go. I am also going to do a strand test, which is essentially me taking some of the hair that I just detangled, because I do have, and I'm going to take off my ring because I do not want it poking and causing issues. Don't want stains. No stains. No stains. So I'm going to take some of the hair from my detangled brush, and I am going to put henna on it and wrap it first, so that I can kind of sort of wash it out as necessary to see just how much color it's changed. If it hasn't, then I'll probably leave it on longer, and if it has, then I'll know that it's good to go, because I've read that you really can't go back and change this. Okay, like, it coats the strands of your hair. What color you get is kind of what color you have until it grows out or washes out, and it's semi-permanent. So yeah, I don't want to have myself looking crazy. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. All right, so as you can see, I have already coated my extra hair. And the process that I use here, I just separated my hair into sections, and I go in layer by layer, small pieces, straight lines going across, and just make sure that I work that henna in each and every part. For this, I also decided to use a brush, but if you don't have a brush, it is possible to use your hand. I just felt more comfortable using a brush, to make sure that each of the strands were coated well. Okay, everybody, so I have finished applying the henna. One thing that I can say is, like, man, I love the color of my hair with henna in it. Like, if I could get my actual hair this color with natural means, I would totally do it because I love it. One thing that I will say, if you are wondering about like how many boxes and stuff you may need, you can clearly see the length of my hair and the texture of my hair. And I started with a bowl that was about this full, and now it is down to here. So I still have some left. I am not somebody that likes to throw things away. And so, although my hair is completely covered, I'm still going to just go back and put it all on. I'm going to put my cap on and just kind of work it in, and I'm going to leave it alone and see. I'm excited. I'm nervous. But even if it doesn't change it at all, like, I've read about the benefits of henna for your hair. And so I'm really looking forward to even just getting that. And I mean, check out this definition. Okay. Like, oh my gosh. Of course, it does feel heavy, but I mean, take it or leave it. I'm taking it all day. So, yeah, I'm just gonna randomly put some more of this in my hair so that I won't feel like I'm wasting as much. And then, yeah, I'm probably gonna take a nap while my little one is actually sleeping.
Okay, guys. So I have veered from the recommendations of the box. I fell asleep, and I fell asleep hard. I after nursing and all of that, like I already started this process too late. Woke up, towel still on my head. So I'm about to go ahead and wash it off. It's at this point been about 6 hours, almost 7 hours, and I'm nervous because you know it said specifically don't leave it on overnight. I mean, technically it was like 1 or so when I went to sleep, so it's technically been, actually I think it's been like, well, it's almost 7, so it's been 6 hours at least. So anyway, I'm about to rinse this stuff out. It's feeling weird. It's like burning in a little bit. So all right, everybody. So I have washed my hair, and according to the package, you are not supposed to shampoo it. You're just supposed to rinse it out, and then you can use conditioner to help make sure all the henna is out. So I've done that, and I'm about to see what it looks like. I'm excited and nervous, but I do still have my strand test, which I mean, doesn't really make any difference now, but it will be able to tell me what it would look like if I left it in an hour longer. So I'm still gonna rinse it out later to see what it looks like. But big reveal, shrinkage is real. Oh snap! I do have some color. I do have some color. OMG. And it's not exactly the color I was going for, but I love it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm low key excited. Henna does as well take a couple days to like settle into its color. So I can technically wash it tomorrow at this time. Just like 24 hours later I can wash it with shampoo, and uh I can actually see like what the color looks like all in all. But this is interesting. I know I see this highlight here. That's because of the light behind me. But let me check to see here. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I really like it. Now I can actually see that my hair is colored. Like that was the goal for me. That was the goal. Oh wow. I'm here for it. Now, I do wonder actually what it would have actually looked like if I followed the instructions. I did go back and reread. I don't know how I forgot this before, but it can actually, you're encouraged to cur it for 1 to 3 hours before using it if you're doing red. And because I was doing red, you know, that part I actually did follow the instructions for. Um, it was just that it stayed on much longer than it was supposed to. But again, it's okay. Before, after, non shampooed. I can see a difference. More golden, and then more red. Okay. For natural stuff, I'll take it. I actually think that if I do it more consistently, um it'll deposit more, right? But I'm about to lock my hair up and get this stuff out of my hands as far as all of this goes. I'm not the natural that wants to be playing in her hair all the time. But maybe it'll change once I become locked. Something new. I have been loose natural for 8 years this time. I was actually a loose natural for another 2 years before that in college, but I just I went back to the relaxer. And then when I got married, I had a protective like sew in. And after that, I was just like, let me just see. Maybe I can do this natural thing again. And it's been 8 years. So